Welcome back, folks. Nice to have you along with us, of course, on this fine Wednesday evening where we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Well, as you know, as you've heard me say now for a few weeks, clubs slowly getting back to training. The first 4 weeks, though, the regulations are about strength and conditioning. On the line with me now, Elto Towers Kuilsrivier Strength and Conditioning coach, Clint Orgle. Clint, nice to have you on the line. How are you?
Hi, JP. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm well, thanks.
So, Clint, you heard me say in the intro there, the first 4 weeks is all about strength and conditioning. That's your game, talking about strength and conditioning. What does that mean? What does strength and conditioning mean for the first 4 weeks?
Well, at Elto Towers Kuilsrivier RFC, we are committed to giving our players the best training that they can receive anywhere. So we've had to really adapt our periodization to come in line with Western Province protocols when it comes to return to training. So I basically had to, with the help of Coach Wessel and Coach Brian, to basically compact what we had strategized before to make it fit into the 4 weeks. So as you know, strength and conditioning is very important according to Box Smart. It's very important because it takes away the risk of spinal and cervical, spinal and neck injuries. So their bodies need to be conditioned properly to endure the stresses of the game.
So what does that mean for the players at a practice session? You know, when we come down to a practice session, we normally see guys hitting the tackle bag or pushing the scrumming machine around. Of course, it's COVID. You've got these very specific regulations now. So for you as a strength and conditioning coach, like when you're taking them through their paces in the evening, what does it look like?
So basically, according to the stipulations of Western Province protocols, return to training, what we have done is we've divided the players into training pods, not more than 8 players per pod. And those pods are allocated and also recorded so that the players can stay in those specific pods for the entire duration of the 4-week period. That way we're able to assess and monitor them while they are training. So it's basically me standing in the middle of the field and different stations all around the field and me screaming my lungs out, communicating with these guys what to do. And there's no equipment, it's just cones.
Well, I was just about to ask you, so there's no bench pressing and pull-ups and pec decks and things like that?
No, it's none of that. So it's non-contact. So even within the pods, the guys are maintaining their physical distance of 1.5 meters.
Yeah.
And we're basically focusing on aerobic and anaerobic. So we're doing some endurance running and some speed and agility drills. And then we're doing some calisthenics, which is using your own body weight, like push-ups and squats and burpees and that type of thing. And we're also doing some plyos as well, which is like the broad jumping and things like that. A lot of tuck jumping and jump lunges and jump squats as well.
So we know that a lot of your players were staying quite fit during the lockdown period, and then you started engaging with some social activities outside of the sporting arena. It's been 3 weeks now of strength and conditioning. What is the progress looking like so far from when you first were able to get the players on the field?
Well, the first week I did a timed Bronco assessment test. And I'll be doing another one on the 4th week, which is next week as well. Some of the guys are looking really good. Some of the guys are getting there. But we have full confidence that the 4 weeks we will get different results when it comes to the fitness of the guys.
So when you're doing Bronco, for the fans that are watching right now, Bronco is, of course, those sprints that you're doing. Am I right?
Yes, so the Bronco test, basically, you put out your cones 20 meters, and then another 20 meters on the 40 meters, and then another 20 meters on the 60 meters. So they need to run between each set of cones. So the first 20 meters back, then 40 meters back, then the 60 meters back continuously. They do that 5 times. And I know I know Barrett did it on like 4 minutes, 28 seconds or something. But we've got guys that are doing it at 5 minutes at the moment already. So
is that a good time? What sort of time do you want to see?
I want to see basically for the backs, I want to see a 5 minute. And for the forwards, I want to see a 6.5 minutes.
Is that a killer? Is it tough?
It is quite tough. I've quite a lot of experience with the Bronco myself, so it is quite tough.
Yeah.
But you know, the guys are enjoying it. Us at Elto Towers Kuilsrivier RFC, along with Coach Wessel and the rest of the coaching staff, we like motivating the guys positively. So with us, it's all about positive reinforcement, you know. We like motivating them so they can challenge themselves, and, you know, it's all about them versus themselves, you know, to improve.
So obviously you must have kept records on the first Bronco, had to write things down and see what each player's time was. From a strength and conditioning point of view, how much admin do you find yourself doing now?
The admin has increased slightly, but luckily for me, we have a dedicated team at Elto Towers Kuilsrivier, which comprises of the executive, and they do all the screening for us. Everything is to do, it's in line with COVID protocols according to what Western Province Rugby has stipulated, and they are also equipped and educated and qualified to do that kind of screening, and they also help the players to maintain the protocols. So a lot of that part of the admin has been taken care of. When it comes to doing my assessments and things, I will try to get the higher end of the spectrum, 2 or 3 to 5 players on the higher end of the spectrum compared to 3 to 5 players on the lower end of the spectrum to get an average. So I'll try to bring that average as close together as possible when it comes to their fitness.
Yeah.
You know, so that makes it a little bit easier. For me personally, I like taking a professional approach to the amateur sport, because that raises the level as well. It gives the guys the feeling that they are in a professional environment and structure as well.
We're so excited to see that the players are able to put their boots on again, and you know, it's different to going to the gym and different to walking and running on the mountain. Coming down for a training session with Coach Clint is a different story. They're able to put their boots on, and it's exciting to smell that smell of rugby again. But that was my final question: is the gees amongst the players. You know, of course, we know the players aren't allowed to make contact with each other, and they still have to be there in an isolated format. But are they at least able to make a little bit of a joke and have a little bit of fun with each other?
Yes, even though the guys are operating according to COVID-19 protocols, the spirit is quite high. The geest is very high, because these guys have been starved from the field for a very, very long time. So they come into the field hungry and eager. And we've also got a new appreciation for the game, and we're not taking the ability to practice for granted anymore. All of us at Elto Towers Kuilsrivier. So we're really cherishing this opportunity to get back onto the field and train. And I think all the guys have been humbled as well, because they are very, very committed, very, very disciplined. And I don't have to speak twice with anybody. They react immediately. So I think the COVID protocols have also given us a benefit as well of having a higher level of appreciation for the game and for the practice as well.
Clint, you've nailed it. That last 60 seconds of what you just said is kind of summing it up for what Club Rugby has actually delivered in the last year. Is that the players have galvanized together. They're thinking of belonging to a club more than just the 80 minutes in the field. They're there as a team. They work with the club, the management, and they help each other. They help the community. I mean, what you guys have been doing as well has been fantastic. I think you've just summed it up, and it really is incredible to see that is really the heart and soul of Club Rugby, what you're talking about.
Indeed, JP. Thank you very much.
Clint, we'll leave it at that. And yeah, I've got goosebumps just thinking about what we just said here, and it really is great. So to you and everybody else at Elto Towers Kuilsrivier, we send our very best, and to the players, and we'll obviously pass on our regards that they must stay safe and healthy.
Thank you very much, JP, and on behalf of Elto Towers Kuilsrivier RFC, thank you for having me on the show.
Thanks, Clint. There we go, folks. Clint Orgle, of course, strength and conditioning coach at Kuilsrivier. Great to see the Kayla boys also working towards, well, let's say at the moment, strength and conditioning. Of course, difficult times at the moment. Tricky for all the coaches. Right, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, there you see the logo behind me right now, right? So a case of Score energy drinks is up for grabs. All you need to do is grab your mobile phone right now. Grab your phone. You're going to need to text this word SCORE. You can see it on the can, you can see it on my shirt, and you just need to simply SMS the word SCORE to 33090. Now, the great thing about the competition at the moment is that not only are we going to give away 24 cans of Score, which makes up one case, we're also going to throw in a case of Bashu's cool drinks. You'll all remember the Bashu's cool drinks. And in addition to that, we have got a set of masks, courtesy of CTC Sports. So 24 Score, 24 Bashes, and of course 24 Cape Rugby TV masks up for grabs. All you need to do is SMS the word SCORE to 33090. There's the word on the can, SCORE. Just SMS the word SCORE to 33090. You put yourself in the mix to win this. It's a triple hamper. Congratulations to last week's winner, Jan Dreyer. Jan, somebody from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you shortly. You are this week's winner of the SCORE energy drinks, a case of Bashu's, and of course a set of Cape Rugby TV masks. Folks, we'll take an ad break, and when we come back from a break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of club rugby. Back in a sec.